Today I'm going to be taking a quick look at a fan from AsiaHorse. This is actually a Matrix 240. This actually has two 120 millimeter fans embedded in the same case. It is suitable for putting in front of a radiator. They are static pressure fans. It has plenty of RGB, 48 LEDs on this one to be exact. The specs of these fans are 8 to 1800 RPMs, 66.5 CFM. I'm assuming that's as a whole, both of those combined. It does have a PWM connection as well to control the fans on a curve if you choose to do that. So anyways, let's take a quick look at it. Here's the included kind of control panel. It has 3 buttons on it: mode, speed, light, SATA power connection, and it's got just an RGB connector on there, which should pigtail on the included cable on the device itself. So included screws. It's got screws for if you decide to go on a radiator. It's got the longer type screws, and then 4 of just the standard fan screws to mount it to your case. The device itself, that's all it is right there. 2 fans, got all the RGB accents in there. We'll take a look and see how that looks. Doesn't look like there's anything on that center part here. In fact, that's just kind of a sticker, probably covering up a screw hole or something there. Anyways, there's the rear of it, and you get 2 cable connections. You get 4-pin PWM connector, and you also get the RGB, which is just your standard 3-pin connection, and the little pigtail on it to connect up to that. And I'm just using the ASUS ROG terminal to get the RGB connection. So this has just a standard 3-pin connector on it, and then I'm going to use my laptop with Aura Sync to control that. Alright, so turned off some lights so you can see that better. It's got the RGB elements out on the sides there. Controlling this with Aura Sync at this point, this is just a breathing cycle. I'll just go through a couple of these real quick. Strobing, color cycle, rainbow is kind of what it was on. And that Starry Night. Starry Night actually looks pretty cool. And it's pretty much the same effect on both sides. That's the rear of it. The effect looks good. The hub has some RGB elements in it. I will say that all of this detail on the bottom and the top here, these little pieces, they're not their own RGB element. It's just like a single strip in there, so you just get the single strip all the way around. So, and same with on the side. You're not going to get any different elements there as opposed to what's just coming through here. So the included control panel is an optional piece. You don't have to use this as we demonstrated. You can just plug it into your 3-pin connector on your motherboard, 5-volt ARGB connector that is, and it'll work just fine. You can use your motherboard to control that. If you don't have that connector, then you would use this optional control panel. So we'll plug it in now and give it a shot. Basically, you're just going to plug it into a SATA port, and then you're going to plug this into the pigtail. Okay, so once you get your SATA connection done, you're going to remove the protective cover off of the control panel itself, and then that will plug into this here, into the piece that would normally connect into your motherboard. And then you do get an additional 3-pin RGB connector there as well, so you could connect an additional device off of that and control it with this. So now the RGB lighting you see is just coming from this little controller here, and it's pretty tiny, so it looks pretty sharp, and you can change the color on the light button there, and then on the mode button you can change the type of sequence. We'll go through and see what all it's got. It's got like some breathing elements and some motion. Pretty good. Speed, of course, you can change the speed of it. And the light button, you can change the light. Kind of a stacking effect there. That's actually pretty cool. So my final thoughts on the Matrix 240. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent product for what you're getting. It's maybe just a touch on the expensive side at $39.99 and $49.99 for the, for the 3 fans, the 360 millimeters. But overall, I think the RGB element looks good. It pairs nicely with your motherboard. I didn't have any issues there. The included controller has some pretty decent RGB elements in it. PWM control, fan control, works great. At 100% fan speed, it's not overly noisy. Does move a little bit of air. I didn't do any in-depth cooling testing on it, but you know, for just your basic average setup, it should do just fine. You know, so should you do it or not? I think the real takeaway there is, if it's an aesthetic that you like and that's something that you want and this fits your style, go for it. I think it'll work just fine. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. So anyways, that's going to be it for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm happy to answer those as best I can. If I forgot something that was important to you, let me know. And anyways, that's going to do it for today. Thank you.